Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Tennova Healthcare. And gentlemen, some of you out there are blessed to have never dealt with prostate issues, but 1 in 6 of you will wind up having to deal with prostate cancer at some point in your life. The best place to turn is who I turn to. It's Tennova Healthcare. Turn to Tennova's Men's Health Center of Excellence. They will consult you from the very beginning and walk you through the process, answer every question. It's like you're going through it with somebody there holding your hand. It is good stuff. Tennova.com. The key word in Tennova Healthcare is care. I've experienced it. I love them. Tennova. All right, back with Mark Pankratz here. I want to ask 2 quick questions. Firstly, let's start with the men's team. They lost 2 games this week. But the big story with a team that's sub 500, the big story is the fallout between Rick Barnes and Robert Hubbs III, formerly a 5-star recruit, a junior now who's never really hit the level that people expected of him. South Carolina, he didn't play in the second half, and Rick Barnes basically said he or Dietrich Marsteller were going to get in regardless. Everyone could have fouled out, and it was going to be the Hoosiers moment. It was just going to be 3 guys on the court. And then last night, he takes it a step further. Hubbs doesn't play at all, and he had an interesting quote after the game that I'll let you share.
Yeah, I think the first one was fine. You know, if he's not going to play defense against South Carolina, you don't play him, help him learn a lesson. And then last night he didn't play him at all. And really his comment was the regards of there's no expectations there anymore. And I'm all for. Coach Barnes knows how to coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. There's nothing wrong with vocalizing some of that and being a truth teller. But I think it was one step too far last night, and saying that there's no expectation there. To me, those are words that deem a breakup. Because if there's no expectations there for growth and for improvement, and that you're going to change, then we have 2 decisions here. I mean, really, you have 1 decision. It's just time to move on, or you're just not going to play and have the role here. So I just don't think you had to take it that far and say there is no expectations to the media. Just do that behind closed doors.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there any way that relationship can be fixed at this point? And it sounds from that comment that Barnes is the one saying no. He may not view it that way, but when you read that comment or hear that comment, you think the relationship is done. So Robert Hubbs will probably be in Europe or the D-League next year?
Well, no, because he does have a year. I think he would. I mean, he's still a good player. He can still transfer and go play somewhere. The other thing that we can't discount with Coach Barnes is how much he really does love on these guys outside of the playing surface. So he might be having times with them, doing his Bible study like he does with a lot of those guys. So he gets that rope a little bit longer than other coaches might. Hubbs has been through so much. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still here, but there's going to have to be a lot of changes.
I would hate to transfer before my senior year. That's okay. Holly Warlick's team continues to hit new depths, unfortunately. For those who've been saying that, it's been heading in this direction, no, it hasn't. She went from 27 wins to 29 wins to 30 wins. This team just went from we could shoot last year to we can't shoot this year, and I think she's having trouble reaching these players. Very quickly, Mark, she was asked this week, has the team quit on you? And she said it looked like they did tonight. It's one thing for John Calipari to say that. He says it's a team comment. Where she is right now in terms of the fan base and everything else, was that a wise remark for Holly Warlick?
Well, you're in trouble if you do, you're in trouble if you don't, if you don't have the honesty, right? But I do think the scary part about it is the majority of this team is back for next year. So if you feel like you've lost them for 1 game, well, what's gonna change in the offseason when in theory you have less time to spend with them to help them grow and help them change? So that's what's more worrisome about it for next year if you truly have lost a team.
Great stuff, Mark Pankratz. All the rest of the guys are coming out here for the rest of the show. It's a full crew, and Chuck's going to be at the whiteboard. We're going to go through the 85 press conferences that Tennessee had this week, and we're going to look at specific allegations against Tennessee from the plaintiff's case. What's frivolous? What's a little bit frightening? We'll tell you. Come on back on the Sports Source.